Hi friends, welcome to another full day of garden cleanup. Today we're going to be pruning tons of hydrangeas. We're going to be moving some hydrangeas over into the main flower walk. We're also going to be transplanting a Ninebark over near my front entrance. And my husband is going to help me tackle a shrub that was here when we moved in that's constantly absolutely covered in Japanese beetles every July. So let's just get right into this day by pruning lots and lots of smooth hydrangeas. So the first hydrangea that we pruned today is one of my all-time favorites. It's called Limetta. And I love Limetta because it has these beautiful small bracts. It's a green hydrangea and it stays this beautiful acid green the entire growing season. It never really fades to a muddy green like some of the other hydrangeas do. It also holds its bloom heads really well. It never ever has flopped over on me, whereas a lot of the older varieties of smooth hydrangeas, such as Annabelle, they really just kind of flop all over the place. So Limetta is one of my favorite hydrangeas for all those reasons. The beautiful green color, the lovely dainty small bracts, and the fact that it's really carefree and doesn't flop over. That's definitely a winning hydrangea in my book. Now we're working on another one of my favorite smooth hydrangeas. This one is called Haas Halo. It's a white lace cap hydrangea that you can see gets pretty tall. I'm 5'5" and we're about the same height at this point. But if you absolutely adore watching bees come to your garden and just feast on all the flowers, you definitely want to get your hands on a Haas Halo because no other hydrangea in my entire garden brings in the pollinators like Haas Halo. It's also very, very carefree. Really strong stems, beautiful blooms. I've never had any problems with disease on Haas Halo. It's just a winner overall. Now we're moving on to Invincible Spirit 2. And this hydrangea has beautiful dusty pink blooms. It really peaks in June and then gradually starts to fade. By the time we reach August, I would say that the pink blooms have turned from a dusty silvery pink to more of a muted green, but it's really a beautiful smooth hydrangea and one that's really special to me. No disease problems on this one and really, really strong stems. It never seems to flop over. But meanwhile, in another area of the garden, my husband is tackling what I think is a filbert. Now, this shrub, whatever it is, was here when we moved in, one of the only shrubs on the property. And it was such a problem for me right from the start, and the problem has just continued for the last 8 years because in July, it is infested with Japanese beetles. They eat it down to almost nothing, and I'm always cutting it back in July, all the way down to the ground. I think I never got around to moving it because I saw how big and strong the root system was. So I'm really thankful that my husband saved the day and rescued me from this Japanese beetle magnet. So after moving that Ninebark, I was inspired to go into the front garden and do something else that I should have done years ago. And that's to dig up this incredible hydrangea and move it back into the main flower walk so that I can really enjoy the beautiful blooms back here. I'm going to be moving one more incredible into the main flower walk so that I'll have 3 beautiful incredible shrubs back here. They have beautiful ginormous white blooms in June and July, and they age to a really vibrant acid green. Now we're going to tackle another problem that's going on in my garden, and that is these mulberries. These mulberries appear from seemingly nowhere. I don't even have a single mulberry on my property, but they just pop up and then they grow like wildfire. It's so hard to pull up their kind of mustard yellow root system. They're all tangled up and they have really long tap roots. But if I don't get these out now, they'll turn into ginormous trees by the end of just one growing season. Please let me know if you struggle with mulberries appearing in your yard and how you like to handle them, because they are seemingly always appearing in the worst locations here. But here we are again, February, and we are still raking, raking, raking. There's still even more raking that needs to be done in this area, but I decided to stop for today because I need to take down the Christmas lights from the trellises, and until I do that, I'm kind of getting all tangled up in all my extension cords. I decided to move to the other side of the hydrangea room where I had already pruned back those hydrangeas. I think it was about 2 days prior. I cut back some leaves on my hellebores, and I had picked up 3 new hellebores from my girlfriend's nursery. And so I decided to reward myself and plant some hellebores. I guess that's how I got through high school and college. I would study really hard, and I would reward myself with fancy coffees and other tasty treats. Now I reward my hard work by planting more plants. I guess that's just the stage of life that I'm in. But we're moving over to the driveway garden now, where there's quite a number of hydrangeas. I believe all the hydrangeas over here are panicle hydrangeas. So once again, I'm cutting right above a node where the leaves come out. I'm taking these shrubs down by about 1/3, and I'm also taking care to remove any dead, diseased, or damaged branches from all of these shrubs. Also, you can see that this area is surrounded by pussy willows and also rose of Sharons. So a lot of leaves blow over into this area, and I also need to take care to remove those leaves from the base of my plant so that I don't have issues with them rotting because they are covered with organic matter there at the base of their trunks. So the one that I'm working on now is, I think it's a Limelight, or it might be a Limelight Prime. It's a little bit hard to tell when they're not in bloom. The really cool thing about Limelight Prime is that it holds the color, it holds that kind of vibrant late pink color a lot better than Limelight. So it's more of, at least here in Southern PA, it's more of a vibrant hot pink in the fall versus Limelight, which is more of a dusty antique pink in the fall. While I was over in this area pruning hydrangeas, I also decided to clean up some lilies. These are Levon lilies, a beautiful white lily with a raspberry center. I definitely highly recommend that lily. And now we are pruning a hedge of Invincible Spirit to hydrangeas. And these ones are in full shade, and you can see that they really are reaching for the light. And this is the 3rd year that I've had this hedge, so I'm really hoping that it does really, really well this year. They say, you know, sleep, creep, leap when it comes to shrubs. So we're on the leap year, and let's see how that border looks. But friends, I'm exhausted to tell you the truth, so I'm going to sit down with a hot cup of tea or a coffee and just enjoy looking at the garden for a few minutes. But don't worry, I'll be right back to work soon. Bye!